Marilyn Matthews can walk freely down Federal Street now in East Baltimore, no longer held up in her home flinching at the sounds of gunshots. 2 years ago, fear held this neighborhood hostage.
Children couldn't play on the porch and stuff. The kids couldn't play out here because you'd be fearful for them, let alone how they had their little bikes, the little scooters. They couldn't ride them around stuff because you don't never know what's going to happen.
This part of East Baltimore was a battlefield, the war waged by a California-based Bloods gang, the Pasadena-Denver Lanes, or the PDLs. A criminal enterprise authorities believed responsible for several murders, carjackings, and robberies. An impressive spate of violence spanning from East Baltimore to West and on into the county.
It's only beginning at that point. It's only beginning.
Dave Brown is the supervisor for the ATF's Violent Crime Impact Team. The group, comprised of Baltimore City and ATF officers, was started in 2004 by a federal directive. Baltimore was one of 15 cities to get a team charged with focusing on the worst of the worst in the most violent areas. The PDLs were now their target, and its leader, Terrence Richardson, just home from jail, quickly came within their crosshairs.
They begin to look at that group. Then they begin to focus on Richardson. And through some investigative techniques, we learned that Richardson is going to have a person in the city murdered.
I'm gonna kill it. That's my oldest one. It's like one murder since I've been home. I ain't killed nobody since I've been home. I gotta put the work in. I'm gonna kill him. I am gonna head first ahead. I'm gonna shoot everybody else, man. Leave him for me. I'm gonna kill him.
This conversation caught on a wire tipped off detectives who would arrest Richardson later that day on his way to make that hit. The PDL leader went to jail on a gun charge, but continued to run the criminal enterprise from behind bars. Emilio Aguas was now elevated to run the gang.
Get your ass down here right now. You hear what I said? That's a direct order. You hear what I said? From the big homie. I'm a GF.
Aguas was now the GF, or Godfather, giving orders on the crimes that paralyze communities: drugs, guns, robberies like this one, and murder.
And they're getting whacked. We're going to beat this to death. I want him to get beat to death. We're going to beat him to death. We're going to beat this into his grave, yo. I want y'all to stomp him until blood come out of his eyes, yo.
A lot of it was orchestrated from a home right here on Federal Street. The PDLs, a gang sanctioned and imported from the state of California, were creating a fairly large, extensive, and violent criminal imprint throughout the city of Baltimore. But the ATF unit, along with city police, were able to use their wire to finally trip them up.
We arrest 42, 23 gang members, which are part of the RICO indictment, and we arrest 2 individuals from California.
In all, 50 warrants were served early in the morning as part of a multi-state takedown. The man you see here hanging out the window while guns were drawn is the Godfather, Emiliano Aguas. The arrests were coordinated, quick, and complete before any of the PDLs knew they were coming. We can tell you this story now and show you the evidence because 2 years later, the last member has been sentenced. Sentences on average of 41 years. Aguas would get 24 after pleading guilty to running the criminal enterprise. His predecessor, Terrence Richardson, 2 life sentences. But for the people on Federal Street, they got their lives back, able once again to sit on porches and watch their children play.
I know it's not much to look at it, but it's our neighborhood where we live at, and it's good.
And most important, it's quiet once again. In East Baltimore, Brian Kubler, ABC 2 News.